Of course, the United States has been working with China to try to get North Korea moving in a direction that it wants North Korea to go. So if these talks go sideways, might that have an effect on North Korea and what the administration is trying to accomplish? Joining me now is Don Bramer, a former naval intelligence officer. Don, thanks for joining us tonight.
Hey, good evening. Thank you.
So the China trade talks have been going backwards. It seems as if what is going on with the U.S. and North Korea has been going backwards. If these China trade talks really go in the wrong direction, is that going to have an impact on North Korea as well?
Blake, I think it'll have a huge impact because right now, with all the sanctions that North Korea has in place, they rely very heavily on the Chinese economy. If China has a lot to focus on with the United States and their worries there, they're not going to be able to focus on supporting North Korea, and that's going to turn the whole thing kind of upside down, so to speak.
Do you think the trade team or the administration wonders, if this doesn't work, maybe something is going to happen with North Korea? Or are these two totally separate things, at least from the perspective of the administration?
I mean, they're very closely related, but in a lot of ways, they're very different. I'm sure someone at the White House is thinking the what-if scenario.
Right. All right, let's get to the events that unfolded today, because all of a sudden you've got these two missile launches from North Korea. It follows the projectile launch, I guess you can call it, from just a handful or so of days ago. What's going on here?
Well, I think Kim thinks this might be his way to force or intimidate the president into moving forward in the next set of talks. Probably he doesn't know President Trump very well because he's not the type to be intimidated. Ironically, the U.S. had two much bigger, much larger missile tests today that have been scheduled far in advance. But I think if you look at size versus size, you know, those two small missiles that have a range of 270 kilometers versus 7,000 miles, that's a big difference.
There's some who would say nothing is a coincidence, but in this case, you think it is.
Absolutely. You can't launch a very calculated missile test just within minutes. The fact that we had the Air Force test just 10 minutes after, that's not even possible.
To be clear, there was a missile test 10 minutes after the first set of North Korean missile tests this morning, and then a 7,000-mile missile that the U.S. sent across the Atlantic today. As far as North Korea, where do you see this moving? And for President Trump, he's been talking about no missile launches, and we're getting the remains of those who died in North Korea back. Now there's missile launches, and the remains process has stopped. It's kind of taken away a big talking point from the president, has it not?
It is a huge token. But what you can look at as they are what the deal was, that there would be no long-range missile testing. These are both short-range. North Korea has never once said that they would completely disarm themselves. It was all about nuclear weapons. You know, Kim has to portray himself as still the leader. He has to gain faith and keep faith on his own people. I think this way is his way of saying that he's still in charge. He still has some bit of bargaining power.
The end of this, though, is denuclearization. That's what everyone wants. Is that possible? And that seems so far off at this point.
It does.
Does it not?
It does. I've said all along that this is going to be a very long process. And you can look at comparisons between the U.S. and China in the 70s, the U.S. and Russia in the 80s. You know, both of those took many, many years. In the case of Russia, nearly a decade. So, you know, 18, 24 months. We're about where we should be. You know, there's going to be a lot of back and forth. Everyone's got to show their cards. They got to see who's going to come out a winner. Both sides want to walk away and go back to their home countries and say that they got the best deal.
10 seconds. If in the next month you think we see more missile launches coming from North Korea, or no?
I believe we will until we decide that there's going to be a next set of talks. I think the saber rattling, if it will continue.